The rainbow effect is very popular at the moment in paintings, drawings, and I'm going to show you a couple of very easy ways how to incorporate it into any of your photographs or images. Open an image, from there make a new layer above it, click OK, and then we're going to use a gradient tool. Now if you're using Photoshop CC 2020, the legacy gradient tools and the special effects rainbow gradient may not be apparent and available in your gradient tool, but you can always check and have a look. It will be under the legacy default gradients. You click that and then find the special effects gradients and you'll find it in there, and it's called Russell's Rainbow. But the chances are it's not going to be readily available. So to load it up into your gradients palette, you need to go to Window and then scroll down to Gradients and click there. And then on here, you need to go to the four little lines towards the top right hand corner, click there, and on this drop down menu, you just click on Legacy Gradients and it will load them up. And then from there, open the Legacy Gradients, go down to Special Effects, scroll down and you will find Russell's Rainbow. Okay. So to put the gradient onto your image, you go to Gradient, find Russell's Rainbow, make sure your gradient is set to a radial gradient. In the middle of your image, just draw a short line and you will get a full circle. Hit the move key and drag your image to sort of like where you'd roughly want to have the rainbows, or somewhere about there. Remember, it's only going to be this top half. All this bottom half down here is not going to be there. That's the next move to get rid of that. Put a layer mask on, hit the washing machine symbol for your layer mask. Make sure your brushes are black and white. Take a black brush. That's 100%, and straight away just draw over all that. Get rid of it. So you've got something looking roughly about right. Okay, your next move is change your blending mode to screen. Then go to Filter, Blur, Gaussian Blur. Oh, make sure you're on the image and not on the mask. Go to Filter, Blur, Gaussian Blur, and take it up to and about 22 pixels, give or take, that will do. Okay, reduce the opacity down a touch, and you can see it is starting to look a bit like a rainbow. Go back onto your mask, get your black brush again, make the brush a bit smaller, perhaps zoom in so you can see exactly where you need to take the rainbow off, because you need to take it off this building because the rainbow would be going behind it. So just use black brush 100%, take it off that building. Just make sure it's gone. Make sure it's gone from your other end if it's touching any buildings down here, possibly. Okay. That's good enough. Now your rainbow will be more faded out on the ends than it will be in the middle. So go back on your black brush again, take the opacity down to about 10%, get a big brush and just take it off a little bit more on either end. Now if you think it's still a little bit too bright, you can lower the opacity down a little bit more, or you might want to put it on higher. You could change the blending mode. You might find one that suits your image a little bit better, but in generally speaking, it's the screen mode that works the best. So that is the first way to do a rainbow as long as you can find Russell's Rainbow in the preset gradients, which are perfectly acceptable to use because they're a Photoshop preset. Now there is another way to do a rainbow. I'm going to show you on this one. Again, put a blank layer over the top of your background. Then choose a colour to start your rainbow with. So we'll start with red. We'll do Richard of York gave battle in vain. That's a good rhyme. Should remember the colours. So we'll start with a red. Get a paintbrush. Make sure it's fairly small. Need it small. Now if you hold the shift key down and just paint from the top to the bottom. Oh, make sure your brush is 100% again. Just don't do that brush. Make sure your brush is 100%. Hold the shift key down and just drag a line down and it will paint a perfectly straight line. Double click the colour square, select your next colour. So Richard of Orange. Draw another line next to it and go through the colours of the rainbow. Click, select your colour, hold the shift key down, draw a line. Green. Blue. And we'll have a pinky one. You can choose whatever colours you want. You can make them as wide as you want, as narrow as you want. Next, what we need to do is go to Edit, Transform, scroll down this submenu and hit Warp. Then, along this bar here, you can see Grid, Warp and bits and pieces here. The Warp, it says Custom, hit that menu and click Arch. Then next to it, there is another little icon. You just click that and it will change it into an arc. Hit your move tool and turn it around. Move it to wherever you want it. I've probably done the lines a little bit too thick on there, but never mind. It's easy to just doing it like that to show you how to do it. Again, change blending mode to screen mode. Hit the washing machine to put a layer mask on it. Get a black brush at 100%. Brush it off all the mountains because the rainbow won't really be coming through there. Maybe just move it up a touch. Oh, that'll do. Again, it wouldn't be as bright where it's hitting the mountains as it will in the middle. So get your brush again, that brush, take it down to roughly about 10%, give or take a bit. Biggish, soft brush, just take it off the ends a little bit, just softens it. Take your opacity down. It's not a very good shape, but that gives you a good idea how to do it. But remember there's water here, so you'll have a reflection of it in. So make your layer active, right click on it, duplicate layer, click OK. Edit, transform, flip vertical. At the top of your left hand toolbar, hit the move tool, drag that layer down into the water. Now there's no way a reflection looks like that. So what we have to do now is lower the opacity. A lot more because it won't be as bright as what's in the sky. Give it some more Gaussian blur. And something or other like that. No, you just tweak all these settings to suit. Right, that's it.